The famous atheist Bertrand Russell, in his essay from 1927, before the Big Bang theory became well established, says, if everything must have a cause, then God must have a cause. It is startling to hear that much more recently the noted Cambridge physicist Stephen Hawking does so in his bestseller book A Brief History of Time. He's talking about the universe, does it need a creator? And if so, who created him? Although we commonly hear children ask, who made God? Or where did God come from? It is surprising to hear philosophers and scientists ask these questions. The Big Bang Theory states that the universe came into existence some 13.7 billion years ago. This discovery is based on observations such as the expanding universe and the second law of thermodynamics, which implies that the universe will eventually run out of usable energy. Such discoveries have confirmed the biblical doctrine of creation out of nothing. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. So this is Genesis chapter 1, verses 1 and 2. An atheist, Michael Martin, says that this beginning of, he's talking about the universe, may be uncaused. But clearly, something cannot come into existence uncaused out of nothing. How can something be produced when absolutely no potentiality exists for its emergency? The chances of something coming from absolute nothing are zero, since there is not even the potentiality for a universe to come into existence. It seems that such belief tries to avoid the applications of God's existence. This something from nothing idea was called absurd even by the Scottish skeptic David Hume. The atheist philosopher Kai Nilsson acknowledges how misplaced is the notion of something coming from nothing. Suppose you hear a loud bang, he says, and you ask me, what made that bang? And I reply, nothing, it just happened. You would not accept that. In fact, you would find my reply quite unintelligible. If this is true of a little bang, then why not apply to the Big Bang as well? So, who made God? The Christians don't claim that whatever exists must have a cause, but whatever begins to exist must have a cause. The universe began to exist, therefore it must have a cause. However, the eternal and self-existent God doesn't need a cause. He is uncaused. A skeptic might insist, everything, even the cause of the universe, must itself have a cause. However, this is a questionable assumption. It's like saying all reality is physical, therefore God cannot exist. Clearly, all reality is not physical. For example, the laws of logic or moral truths. For example, torturing babies for fun is wrong. These are not physical, but are still obviously real. Similarly, it is not self-evident that everything must have a cause. God is outside the physical realm, and since He is eternal and self-existent, He doesn't need a cause. No one could accept that something could pop into existence uncaused, out of nothing. Since the contemporary science has revealed that the universe began, the logical conclusion is that God exists and He is the cause of the universe. And those who persist in believing that the universe came from nothing, we should ask, if believing in the universe out of nothing is acceptable, why is believing into the eternal God not acceptable? Certain realities, such as the laws of logic or mathematical truths, are clearly uncaused. Therefore, it cannot be true that everything must have a cause. Even if the universe didn't exist, would the statement, for example, 2 plus 2 equals 4 still be true? Of course. Or would the law of non-contradiction, A cannot equal non-A, still be true? Yes. Such truths are real, even though they are not physical. But there is no good reason to think that they have been caused. If this is true, why couldn't we say the same about God? Not everything must have a cause. God is in a different category than caused entities. It is like asking, how does the color black taste? Or what flavor is letter A? God, by definition, is an uncaused, necessary being. How God could have always existed? Something had to exist in order to create the universe. So why not God? We know that from nothing, nothing comes. But things do exist. Therefore, since there could never have been absolutely nothing, something must have always been in existence. That ever-existing thing is what we call God. God is the uncaused being who caused everything else to come into existence.